This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNN Live. We're at the second annual Growth Capital Expo in Las Vegas 2015. I have with me Steve Walker, NACD, the National Association of Corporate Directors, a premier sponsor at the Growth Capital Expo, and it's a national organization. And ladies and gentlemen, he's also a speaker and a panel member. We have you very busy. Steve, welcome to SNN Live.
Thank you so much, Shelley. Appreciate it.
Good to have you. So let's get, first of all, a background on you, and then we'll go to the next question.
Certainly. Well, I serve a few roles at NACD, which is the National Association of Corporate Directors. I'm our general counsel, and I'm also the managing director of our board advisory services, which is the group that actually goes into boardrooms and helps them build and develop boards, evaluate themselves, and become far more strategic.
Okay, so that's a full-time job. I mean,
Absolutely.
I don't see you having much time for anything else on that.
No, actually, we conduct about 100 engagements a year, and that's just our in-boardroom education program and evaluation program. NACD conducts conferences all around the country, delivered to its over 16,000 members who are actual sitting board members.
Now, what are you speaking on, or what have you spoken on already at the conference?
Well, we focus in our panel on the importance of good governance on MicroCap, pre-IPO, and post-IPO small cap companies. As you're probably aware, over 75% of activist campaigns are focused on small cap, microcap companies. People just don't realize that. They only know about what they read about in the paper, and only the big companies make the news. But the real activity is going after small boards and really looking at their quality, their skill sets, and are they qualified, and are they competent in what they're doing.
And what's your panel on today?
The panel was all about building the right board, building a strategic board, the importance to CEOs and the attendees here at your conference, and knowing that get away from recruiting your friends and family and start looking for truly qualified folks with public company experience who can really bring value to the board and understand fiduciary responsibilities and what it means to be a strategic asset and bring strategic skill sets into that boardroom.
Well, I sat in on one of your talks, and I think you were the one who said, something about your finger and something about your nose. Now, what was that?
Well, it goes back to our founder in 1977 who created the term. It's not an accounting term. It sounds like it, NIFO, which means noses in, fingers out. And that's really what we tell directors. You're there to really stick your nose in and ask and create constructive tension. But you're not supposed to run the business. You're not there to operate the business, but you are there to provide counsel, oversight, think about things like competitive disruption, innovative disruption, be helping the management team think about and getting outside their mind, which is the next quarter. You should be thinking about as a director, what's happening in 5 years? What could come in and bring innovation that could make us obsolete, basically.
So here's my question. I'm a CEO of a company, and I am trying to build a board, and I'm calling around attorneys, I'm calling accounting execs, and I'm not really finding what I consider to be the right person to add to the board, because I want somebody who's going to support me, yet be independent and qualify as someone who the rest of the street would appreciate me having on my board.
Absolutely.
So if I can't find someone, what do? Do I call the NACD?
Absolutely. We have what's called the Directors Registry, and of our 16,000 members, we have probably 6,000 to 8,000 who have registered their profiles on our Directors Registry. It's an amazing value. You've got highly skilled, qualified directors who in many cases are serving on private boards, want to get on public company boards, or on small cap boards and want to get on other boards. So you've got a qualified, vetted pool right there at your fingertips, and it's a fraction of what the big recruiting firms charge.
So now let's go back to my example. I'm now a CEO of a company. What would you give me as your top recommendation in building a board?
First, I would look at my strategy, and I would know that I'm looking for generally well-rounded individuals who have leadership experience, who have P&L experience, who understand how to read financial statements, who aren't afraid to speak up, but also understand the NIFO principle, noses in, fingers out. But what we're telling boards to do is create a skill sets matrix and map out what you have, what you need, and what are the critical components you need around that table to help you achieve your strategic goals.
So, Steve, we have a lot of CEOs, both public and private company managers. What website would you like to give them to find out more information?
Well, you should definitely look at the National Association of Corporate Directors website, which is nacdonline.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Walker, NACD, the National Association of Corporate Directors. It's a widespread organization with over 16,000 members. I'm Shelley Craft. This is SNN Live, and we're coming to you live from the second annual Growth Capital Expo in Las Vegas 2015. Steve, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being at the conference and devoting so much time and effort to it.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.